Followed by pledge of allegiance, followed by silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Oh, we got this, look at this special visit we have here.
Oh, wow. Senator, how you doing? Have an agenda, do we? Okay, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
First District, David Ham.
Present.
Second District, Ronald Brewer.
Here.
Third District, Charlie Brown.
Is Charlie online?
I don't see it either.
Fourth District, Pete Lindemoulder.
Present.
Fifth District, Christine Sid.
Here.
Sixth District, Ted Bilski.
Here.
Seventh District, Randy Newman.
Present.
Great, we have a forum. The minutes,
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 6-1 absent. Awards and resolutions, Councilman Brewer.
Madam President, I have a resolution 25-31. Approved for this to be read this time.
Yes.
Second. Make a motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded.
I have a resolution proclaiming June as National Cancer Survivor Month. Whereas the cancer survivor is definitely as anyone living with the history of cancer from the moment of diagnosis through the remainder of their life. And whereas the first Sunday in June is National Cancer Survivor Day, celebration on this day highlights survival strength, resilience, and the ongoing need for the resources and research to ensure their well-being. And whereas cancer survivors and their families exhibit courage, faith, and strength to undergo the emotional, physical, and financial burden associated with their disease. And whereas, according to the American Cancer Survival Council Society Cancer Treatment Survivorship Factors and Figures 2022 through 2024 reports as of June 1st, 2022, a majority of cancer survivors are 69% were diagnosed 5 or more years ago, and 18% were diagnosed 20 or more years ago. Whereas the Lake County Council acknowledged June as National Cancer Survivor Month as a reminder that survivors is anyone living with a history of cancer from the moment of diagnosis through the rest of their life. So there, let it be resolved, the Lake County Council proclaimed June as National Cancer Survivor Month to celebrate those who have survived and inspired for those recently diagnosed, and gather of support for families and on outreach to the community. So resolved this day, 10th day of June, 2025. Council President Christine Sid, Councilman Ham, Councilman Nehemiah, Councilman Lindemoulder, Councilman Brown, Councilman Brewer, and Councilman Ted Bilski, all members of the Lake County Council.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 6-1 1 absent. Okay. Well, we all sure feel that when you survive cancer, you definitely need to be celebrated.
Madam President.
Yes, Councilman Brewer.
Say something why this resolution just went forward. There were a report that came out and it was on the news about, I believe it was a young lady that was in the Gary area that talked about pollution. You had doctors on there giving reports about the pollution and the causes of cancer related to it. I don't think it should be something swept under the rug because we do see a high number in Gary and this area being a high number across the United States as one of the highest percentages in individual diagnosed with cancer. And I think it's something serious and it shouldn't be something that we come alive to when it becomes a close loved one of one of ours or as one of us that's dealing with cancer. I think we should pay close attention to that statement that came out, that report that came out on the news. I haven't heard anything from the leadership of Gary concerning, I know Mayor Melton was on the news with the report, but I haven't heard anything further go forward. I think the council, the county council should take a leadership role in pursuing to see what research have come out on pollutants that have been put into the water or the air from US Steel and other industry that's inside our backyard at the same time, because someone should be responsible for some of these things that's happening to the health of our loved ones.
Yeah, or we need to work on preventions. So thank you for bringing it to my attention. I did not read that article. Do you have it? Could you share it?
Share with everyone, yes.
Thank you, thank you. Because if it's in Gary, it's in East Chicago, and it's in Whiting. I'm sure those high rates are there as well. Okay, anyone else? Okay. I have some other, anyone else have any announcements or acknowledgements?
Happy birthday to 50th to Councilman Brewer.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Usually it was always Deandra No's birthday every meeting, but this one really is right.
Yeah.
Yes, happy birthday.
Make sure there's the parks, Deep River Water Park acknowledgement.
Yes. I have that. Are they here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Jim, you want to do the honors? Sure. Go ahead.
This is, Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve this certificate of recognition. This certificate is probably presented to the Deep River Water Park, Lake County Parks and Recreations in honor of 30 years of simply splashtastic service. Since opening in 1995, the park has become a cherished destination for families across the region, offering affordable, family-friendly recreation for 3 decades, and stands as a proud example of the community-centered public services. The Lake County Council extends its heartfelt congratulations and appreciation to Deep River Water Park and its lasting contribution to the regional tourism and recreation and family fund. Signed this date, Lake County Council, Councilman Dave Ham, Councilman Brewer, Niemeyer, Lindermalder, Brown, Bldg, and Council President Christine Sick. So moved.
Come on up, Jim.
Sing our jingle.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you. And I know you were there from the start because you told me
Before
you,
the start,
yes, you've been with the Parks Department for 51 years?
my 51st summer.
51st summer, yeah.
I know, I don't.
I know. You were just born, Ron. Actually, in the making.
Yeah, a couple of.
Well, it's been 30 years and I remember lots of battles to get the water park built and other things, but it is one of those, as a born and bred region rat, it's more than parking lots and strip malls and even warehouses. And that's what the park department does. And we're very honored to have been part of this. And we have, there have been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of kids and others who didn't know what taxes were, didn't know what a shovel was, and are now engineers for national security and other airline pilots. And it always is concerning to me because I knew them when they were 16 years old, or county sheriffs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do on your team as well.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Just to kind of reiterate, the parks are doing such a beautiful job and for everyone to get out and have a chance. Maple Lake is really coming around great. And we have such awesome parks, and there is so much more to Lake County than just, a riverboat for gambling or, a check cashing business or something like that.
Yes,
We do have beautiful parks here and they do a stellar job, and go out and use them, and it's affordable. And I know we've caught and been dinged a few times up here because it is, should be something they say that should be, run by a private business and so forth like that, but it's never gonna happen. No one in their right mind would open a water park in Northwest Indiana that's not indoor. So to give our citizens this beautiful gift and to have a place to go, We hope at best to break even, and it's more about the quality of life for our residents than it is about an economic investment. So I just wanted to make sure, and I think you guys lived to that as an example. Thank you for what you do.
Anyone else? All right, there's some other announcements I have. The Government Center will be closed June 19th in observance of Juneteenth, commemorating the end of slavery in the United States and celebrates African American freedom and culture. There are other observations too in the month of June: Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, National Safety Month, National Great Outdoors Month, National PTSD Awareness, Pride Month, and Immigrant Heritage Month. So please keep those in your mind. Okay, moving on to the agenda. Lake County Superior Court, Room 4.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of an ordinance in Department 4001. It's an ordinance amending the Lake County Part-Time Employees Pay Rate Ordinance for 2025. And it's ordinance number 1502C.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yeah.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Is this Thomas T. Grayson?
Yes.
Madam Chair, I move for a suspension of the rule.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for suspension of the rule. Roll call, please.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
And move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for approval on second reading. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 6-1 absent.
Madam Chair, for the record, can we note that Councilman Brown is?
No, I checked. He still doesn't seem to be on mine. Oh,
Okay.
You've been.
welcome. Okay, so that was,
Bernie just won.
you voted on that, right? So that's 7-0. Snuck in on me.
Like he's on stealth. Almost.
All right, Lake County, Room 2.
No action.
On both,
On both.
on all items?
No action. I spoke to the judge.
Okay. Room 3?
Yes, room 3. Madam Chair, I move for approval of an ordinance amending the Lake County Part-Time Employees Pay Rate Ordinance for 2025, which is number 1502C.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move for suspension of the rule.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for suspension of the rules. Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yeah.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for approval on second reading. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of creating a new line item in Lake County Veterans Court Endowment Fund 9398.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I gotta read the lines. Yeah.
63232 travel meals, 63233 travel lodging, and 63234 travel other.
I'll second that one.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
On the appropriation, I move for approval in Lake County Veterans Court Endowment Fund 9398, 63232 travel meals, $114, 63233 travel lodging, $600, and 63234 travel transportation, another $200 for a total appropriation of $914.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Okay, juvenile court.
In juvenile court, Department 4005, I moved to create a new line item in the Lake County Juvenile Center Flower Farm Project Grant Fund 9120 for other supplies 62410.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Now the appropriation, I move for approval of the Lake County Juvenile Flower Farm Project Grant Fund 9120 62410 other supplies in the amount of $400.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of an ordinance establishing Lake County Juvenile Alternatives Initiative grant, even numbered year fund. It's a non-reverting fund.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yeah.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move for suspension of the rule.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Oh, sorry, roll call please.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yeah.
Brown.
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for approval on second reading. Roll call please.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
I move for approval of an ordinance establishing the Lake County Juvenile Center's high-risk outreach program. The grant fund is non-reverting.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Did you just suspend?
Wasn't that the suspension we just voted on?
I move
No.
No, that was first.
But we did have a motion to suspend.
motion to suspend the rules.
That wrecks you all the time.
I know. That's why I missed the senator. He used to have my back.
Are you really?
I'll second the suspension.
Motion's been made to suspend with the rules and seconded. Roll call please.
Brown.
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Motion for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0. All right, Juvenile Detention Center. Councilman Brown. Item 9.
Madam President, I move to create a new line item for the Juvenile Secured Detention Fund 9389.
Second. Oh,
Fund number
I'm sorry.
2240, household and
institutional.
institutional supplies.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Linda Mulder.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move to suspend.
Now there's.
No need. You
Okay.
can move to item 8, 9B, sorry. Like an 8.
Madam President, I move to transfer juvenile, from in the juvenile fund, juvenile secured detention 9389. From 91190 part-time, $9,000. From 6
61320, FICA reduction $1,000. 61360, workers comp deduction $1,000. And from 63920, food and lodging $1,000 for the total of $11,000.
Two,
63715, equipment leasing $11,000, and 62240, household and institutional supplies $1,000, for a total of $12,000.
Second.
okay, motion's been made and seconded.
Just for the record, that first line item was 61190.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, I move to adopt an ordinance establishing the Lake County Community Corrections Juvenile Detention Grant, even number year fund, a non-reverting fund.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Is there a suspension?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend with the rules. Roll call please.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer.
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes.
Move on.
Second reading,
Motion to approve on second reading?
motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Okay, juvenile court.
Madam Chair.
In juvenile CASA,
Oh,
Department
juvenile-
4006.
yeah.
I move for approval of revised 144 in Lake County CASA Capacity Building Grant Fund 9377. It is for 39002-004 supplemental pay of non-general fund 9377, currently at $1,200, proposed $4,200, for a difference of $3,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
And Chair, in 4D Court, Department 4007, I move for an appropriation in child support, 4D, Fund 8297 for 64420 office machines in the amount of $30,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call please.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Good for veteran service.
Yes, veteran service.
So I'm gonna lean on Tom a little bit for this. We've had some discussion since our study session last week. The ordinance that we have in the record shows higher than what we discussed we could change the rates to. So can I make the motion for the ordinance with the new rates? And then what we'll do is today, our plan is to do a first reading. That will give Tom the time to talk to the commissioners to make sure that they're okay with this, because those funds come out of their pool of funds. And what we're looking to do is increase the death of a veteran benefit, the death of a spouse benefit, and the grave marker benefit, increase all of those by 50%. So I'm making a motion for an ordinance amending ordinance number 1209C, the ordinance establishing payment for veterans' grave markers, with changing it from death of a veteran benefit from $150 to $225, death of a spouse from $100 to $150, grave marker from $60 to $90. And we'll do this a first reading today and hopefully do the second reading next month.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? A roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Okay, Planning Commission.
Madam President, move to approve an ordinance number 2587, LHA Properties LLC owner, Cross Creek Ranch, care of Timothy Kuiper, petitioner, 5/21/25, R3 to A1, favorable recommendation with a vote of 7-0.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded.
Any comments?
Discussion? You have anything you want to add?
Nothing other than it was recommended unanimously by the, well, almost unanimously, 2 members weren't present, but 7-0 favored.
No further discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Weights and measures.
Madam President, move to approve an ordinance amending ordinance number 1264D, the ordinance establishing the rules and penalties for weights and measures.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move to suspend with the rules.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend with the rules. Roll call, please.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move to approve on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve on second reading. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Highway Department.
Madam President, I move to create a new line item, 2024-2, Lake County Local Roads Bridge Matching Grant Fund, 9440-64500, construction and reconstruction.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Appropriation?
I move to approve an appropriation 2024-2, Lake County Local Roads Bridge Matching Grant Fund, 9440-64500, construction and reconstruction for the total of $2,466,468.50.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam Chair, I move to approve an interlocal cooperation agreement. This is a joint interlocal cooperation agreement for the Lake County Bridge number 45-00254 Wisconsin Street Bridge over Lake George, north of Lake Park Road and south of Third Street between the city of Hobart, Indiana and Lake County, Indiana.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, I move for an appropriation reduction in the County Highway Fund 1102-63710 equipment rentals, $20,000, 63715 equipment lease, $20,000 for a total of $40,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Motor
Madam-
vehicles.
Madam President, I move to approve an appropriation in the County Highway Fund 1102-61100 overtime, $40,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, I move to approve a transfer in the County Highway Fund 1102 from 63710 equipment rental, $6,000 to 61100 overtime, $6,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, I move to transfer from the prosecutor's elderly abuse fund 8127 from 62110 office supplies, $2,500, 64410 furniture and fixtures, $211, 64420 office machines, $300 to 63620 equipment repair, a total of $3,011.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, I move to approve an ordinance amending the Lake County 2025 salary ordinance number 1500F, decreasing one full-time position and 6 supplemental pay positions in the Lake County Prosecutor's 4D Department, Department 9003.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer,
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move to suspend with the rules.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend with the rules. Roll call, please.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Move to approve on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made to approve on second reading. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, move to approve ordinance amending the Lake County 2025 salary ordinance number 1500F, eliminating 9 supplemental pay positions in the Lake County Prosecutor's 4D Department, Department 9003.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor,
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Suspension?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend with the rules. Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Motion to approve on second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made to approve on second reading. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindamotor.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Sure.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, move to approve a revised 144 Child Support PCA Fees Fund 8295, 15706-014 Caseworker 2, presently 0, proposed 45,000, for difference of 45,000. 15706-015 Caseworker 2, presently 0, proposed 40,000, difference of 40,000, for a total of a difference of 85,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Oh, yes, Councilman Brown.
Was there an explanation for the difference in the total salary of both of them being caseworker 2?
You mean from the 45 to 40,000? I just made one a little bit larger, in case we have someone more qualified, where we used to just give them a sub on top of that initial. Since we're trying to get rid of the subs, I wanted to increase that just a little bit.
And did the prosecutor approve it?
Yes.
What does more qualified mean in this case?
So a lot of times, we'll have people coming from the 40 courts or 40 clerks who's, they're familiar with how everything functions. They've got a bigger background, can take a little bit larger role in our office than just kind of an entry level. So less training, more experience.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, move to create new line items in the Child Support PCA Fees Fund 8295, 61150 paraprofessionals, 61340 group insurance deduction, 61360 workman's comp deduction, 63910 dues and subscriptions.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion, roll call, please.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, move to transfer in the Child Support PCA Fees Fund 8295 from 61290 supplemental pay $75,170 to 61150 paraprofessionals $42,500, 61340 group insurance deduction $26,760, 61360 workman's comp deduction $910, 63910 dues and subscriptions $5,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Madam President, move to approve a resolution permitting the Lake County Community Corrections to pay outstanding 2024 invoices and debts from the 2025 budget.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Councilman Niemeyer.
Madam President, I move to approve an appropriation of Park and Recreation Fund 1107, 64120 land improvements, $450,000.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
Yeah.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Linda
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Sid,
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Madam President, if I may, real quick,
Yes.
we want you all to go outside. That's kind of our deal. But take your insect repellent. It is tick season and it's really bad this year. They were crawling up my pants leg last night in my workshop and I don't know where I was to pick them up. So I don't want to keep you from going outside, but please, even in your garden, in your yard, take care of yourself. You wouldn't hold up your iron on the green in a lightning storm. It's kind of the same deal. And I'm sure Ray could attest to it.
Thank you for that reminder.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
Are you sure it was a thing?
Definitely sure, and I can tell you it's dead.
Wow. Ray had been through, I think everybody up here is
Yep.
aware of the dangers of tick bites, Ray.
Yeah, I had Lyme disease about 10 years ago,
Mhm.
and the ticks that carry Lyme disease, deer ticks, you cannot, almost with naked eye, you cannot see, but that's small. If you, it's a different process. Your regular tick that gets in your pets, that's not the tick that carries Lyme disease, it's one days. And I had two bites, and it's a perfect circle. And right in the middle of that circle is. And it takes about, it's almost like malaria. It's about a month to get your strength back and then to get your cardio back. It's about 9 years. So,
Yeah.
but if you catch it early, if you catch it early, then go to ER, your doctor immediately.
So Jim, you didn't get bit?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No. But as Ray said, there've been times before when I thought, man, what got me? Because you won't know. And,
Yeah.
and, the normal ticks, you're like, oh yeah, and you take a hammer and crush it on the table, it'll go away. But just be careful. I don't want to scare anybody away from going outside, but just be
No,
careful.
just awareness. Thank
No,
you.
that's good.
Check your dogs.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, economic development. Morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilman Brown.
I move for appropriation and economic development, CRF/ERA, the Red Grant Fund 9339. Line item 63995, other services and charges. $300,672.71 total.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ham,
Yeah.
Brewer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindenmoller,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. County Council, we have a resolution. Councilman Brewer.
Commissioners.
That's withdrawn. That's withdrawn.
Oh,
Madam President, I move to approve a resolution of Lake County Council requiring that certain townships within Lake County, Indiana shall receive a specified amount of the tax revenues distributed pursuant to Indiana Code 6-3.6-6-8 for the year 2026.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Lindenmoller,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Neemeyer.
Yes.
Ham,
yes.
Brewer,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Citizens' appointments. If I could just have, I'll open up nominations for the Lake County Study Commission on Veterans Affairs.
Madam Chair,
Councilman Ham.
nominate Ted Belsky, Christine Sid, Mike Repay, Ernie Dillon, Joe Quasney, Jason Godey, Brian Snyder, and Larry Blanchard.
Any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, I hereby declare Ted Bilski, Christine Sid, Mike Repay, Ernie Dillon, Jason Quasney, Jason Bobby, Brian Snyder, Larry Blanchard appointed to the Lake County Study Commission on Veterans Affairs for a one-year term.
Second.
Thank you. Don't need one, but thank you. All right, next appointment is I'll open up nominations for Northwest Indiana Professional Sports Development Commission.
Madam Chairman, this is a new appointment for us because it's a new statute and it has to be a council member, but they can appoint a proxy.
Yes. Okay,
So I nominate Christine Sid with the proxy of Don Popperbeck.
motion's been made and seconded. I mean, is there any other nominations? Okay. Okay, I'm hearing none. I hereby declare, myself, Christine Sid, as the appointee with Don Propabach as my proxy. Don is actually here if, do you have a few words? Do you have anything you'd like to add or you have any questions for him?
Good morning, Madam
Morning.
President, council members. I'm Don Poppervac. I am president of the Northern League of Professional Baseball. It's founded in 1903 and continues to this day as an independent operation. Most of the 20th century, it was spent as an affiliate of Major League Baseball until 1971, and then went dormant for a few years and came back as an independent league. Our hope is to work across the regions of both Lake and Porter, LaPorte counties to bring a more cohesive professional sports development area here. It'll help drive tourism, it'll help drive economic development for cities and towns across those counties. And I'm really excited because this is a conversation that I've been having with all these counties and cities and towns for the last 3 years. So there's an unlimited potential here. There's unlimited tourism opportunities for us as well. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Anyone?
Are you assuring us a shot at getting the variance over?
About $3 billion would certainly help, probably a little bit more. I can't guarantee things like that. Those are a little bit out without my reach, you know. Chicago Bears, I think they're going to, they already own a piece of property in Arlington. So they're trying to play the city and Arlington against each other right now. So those are big stakes.
I just want to say thank you for stepping up to the plate. Appreciate your expertise and coming to fill this seat. So thank you for.
You're very welcome.
Are the Chicago White Sox in the independent league now? Or
Well, you know, at the rate they're going, you know,
asking for a friend?
I'm not quite sure.
Coming out of the Vatican City from what I heard, so it's gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay.
All right, move it.
Absolutely.
Don, all we ask is that you, please keep us updated.
Absolutely.
Every
Yep.
so often.
Yep, I'm anxiously awaiting the organization of this board sometime after the 1st of July, so.
Yeah, they actually have a meeting scheduled for next month, I believe. I'll get
Yeah,
that date, or maybe
I've been in
earlier.
conversation with
Okay, very
Earl, Representative Earl Harris on
Okay.
that as well, so. Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have public comment. Senator, do you have anything you want to address?
Thank you, Madam President, members of the council. Well, I'm a little nervous. I'm part of the body for some time.
Sit right here.
Yeah, could you please get up? I'd like to. In fact, I was going to ask you, Pete, if, we brought up a House bill.
No tag backs.
We're not trading.
No.
No tag back.
Again, Senator Durnell from District 1. I represent, actually, this is my district, a little bit of it. And I'm here just to say hi. And you brought up this new endeavor. Don, I wish you the best. This is part of what we've done, and you know we do listen to people and their ideas. And I think Representative Harris, this was a great idea for us. And let's see where this goes, right? And we have to take a chance. And I think this is something that's great. But I'm here just to first of all say thank you. During this last session, it's a long session. There was a lot of consternation, as you know. Talked to a lot of you, you know, and I did listen to you, and I hope you see that. I'm a local government guy, and there are some concerns. I think what the governor is trying to do is very noble, but I also do not want to hurt our local government. Mr. Schmall and I started working on this in January. We're at Shoop's Hamburgers, of all places. By the way, good hamburger, right? We started formulating something. This is before anything was produced, was brought up, and you know the leaders did come out and say, you know, this is what we'd like to do, and we were able to get it over to the House, and then over a 300-page amendment came back. Just didn't feel right for me. My hope is, again, if it's okay with you, Mr. Schmall, we'll be going down on Thursday. I think our meeting's at 11:30 Eastern time. We are going to be meeting with Senator Niemeyer, Representative Slager, and myself, along with Krista Ritchie, who's part of the analyst for our taxes. She's aware of our concerns. She understands there might be an issue. Also, one of my colleagues did reach out to the Scott and explain what our I think some of the issues were. He understands. So we're going to see what we can do to work and try to get this issue resolved. Of course, government always could use a haircut, but you know when it comes and it really hurts local government, that really hits me pretty hard. I was one of the 22 that voted against it.
Thank you for that.
You know,
I mean, really, thank you for supporting local government.
Well, and you know, Christine, this is where I come from. I've cut my teeth, and I do see a need, and I don't see there's you know a lot of people think that there might be some waste, and of course we could always find places that we could do better, right? But I think this county is run pretty well. I think you seven have done a great job, and I appreciate that. But I also think a lot of our towns have done well too, and school districts. But we're gonna see what we can do. And Mr. Schmall, I do appreciate your help on this, and look forward to you being down there. And let's have one of our many meetings over the next several months, so we could present something to my colleagues, all 49 of them, along with myself, making it 50, and get something done.
please don't hesitate to ever call me. Pete, are you sure you don't want to go down there? Because, I tell you, I'm good. You know, I put a little levity into this. As you were going through this, I almost yelled out, yes, you know. It's kind of a reflex. But you guys have done great. And every vote that you've had was unanimous today. So it's great that you all work together. That's great. You're not gonna always do that. That's why there's 7 of you. But it was great to see that. And keep in touch.
Thanks for visiting.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Dan.
Mr. Brown, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You know, one thing, I'll leave it at this. Councilman Brown, who was Representative Brown, said to me, "You're not going to like that drive back and forth," and I understand what you mean. Yeah, so thanks. I'll stick around if you guys want to talk.
Especially once it's a toll. No.
Well, then that's it.
Good job, Dan.
Thank you for that one.
Good job, Dan.
Yeah. All right, any other public comment?
Still a good idea.
All right, Councilman, anybody have anything?
I have a couple things. So, back on February 28th, there was a situation brought to my attention. I bring this up because of the financial aspect of it and also some of the personnel aspects of it. Where it was brought to my attention that 5 or 6 workers in the election office were tasked with setting up a party function, a Democrat caucus in the auditorium during work hours. I brought it to the attention of Commissioner Repay and was told that the party would pay the county back somehow for the time of those employees. And I'm not sure of what the status of that ever was. I know in our personnel handbook, that activity is deemed improper, that is not allowed to happen on government time, even if there is someone else paying for it. So I'd like to get some answers on that. It has been kind of forgotten about, but I haven't forgotten about it. I don't think it's ever good practice for government workers to be participating in political work during their work hours. And also, like I say, it's in our personnel manual as well. And then there was another situation brought to my attention where there were inspectors and students that are required by law to attend training that by records did not attend the training, but still got paid for the training. So we've got some discrepancies there in processes and systems that need to be looked into. Again, I don't have access to the pay docket, the claims docket, to be able to kind of follow up on this, but I think the first issue is an issue that's really improper. And we've had situations here in the past where people have faced legal consequences for those sorts of things. And I sure as heck don't want to see another black eye on Lake County. So I'd like to get to the bottom of that and find out the information of why that was done, how it's being corrected, and who paid for these workers to be working downstairs on a political function. So that was what I had.
Anyone else? Councilman Brown?
Was that taken to the election board?
So that was taken to see, we have a unique system in Lake County of how our election office works. The 2 county chairmen, myself and now Commissioner Repay, appoint the people that work in that office. Michelle Feynman is the director, Jessica Messler is the assistant director, and then each party, I believe has 12 employees. And so that was brought up to the chairman, Mike Repay, who is in charge of that, and also a commissioner. So again, that's where that went. It will be brought up to the election board. I wanted to give this some time to be vetted out to see what had been done. Nobody has contacted me with a resolution to this, so I'm going to pursue it in a different avenue.
Madam Chair?
Councilman Bldg.
I couldn't agree more with my colleagues, 100% right. We've had tons of bad things happen in this state. You know, look at the scenario with Tony Bennett doing the same thing. He was school board director, you know, statewide and campaigning, using office personnel for campaigning purposes. But there's agencies out there to police that. So I wholeheartedly let them investigate, and they should. If there's any malfeasance, anything anybody did wrong, our own prosecutor could look into that and say, hey, look, if there's something here that was wrong, correct it. And what's the path that needs to be taken to ratify whatever issues is there. Put it in motion, see what we need to do to make sure it's squared up and everything's above board.
I'll be attending the election board meeting next week, and I'll ask some of these questions to them as well, so we can make sure we've got proper record of it, but it will need to be investigated at some point to look into
Absolutely.
all the details.
Yes, if you didn't attend the training, I know you can do it online now also, right? So if they didn't.
Right, but there's still a documentation.
Yes. Yeah.
Inspectors
There's no
are required by
documentation.
law. And from what I saw of the records, there was no documentation of these people even attending training, yet they were given, the inspectors were given election kits and pay for the training, which is an extra $30.
What's the time frame of this incident happening here in Lake County?
So the election workers working on the Democrat caucus, so every 4 years, the two major parties both have their leadership caucus March 1st. So that took place February 28th. The poll worker training was right before the elections that took place in Crown Point School District and Hobart School District. So it was just recently. Yeah.
Well, as the county chair and as a senator here who wants to make sure that Lake County is treated fairly, why not make an attempt to change the law in Indianapolis that says that we have this hybrid in Lake County, and I don't think it occurs anywhere else. Maybe Marion County, some kind of hybrid as to how the election board is situated.
Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile endeavor to look at the legislation, Charlie. I think there's an opportunity there to, like I said in the last meeting, modernizing and reviewing government policies is a good thing. So I think in these sorts of cases, it doesn't hurt to take a look at those enabling statutes.
And you're saying that the staff of that caucus were mandated to work, they didn't volunteer.
And they can't volunteer while they're on government time, according to our personnel policy handbook. So you can't, while you're on your time, just leave your post to go work somewhere else.
Oh, so you're saying this was held during
This was
government work
during
hours?
normal business hours. And it was about half of the staff on the Democrat side that had went down there to work on setup for that caucus.
Well, you mean the party caucus?
Yes,
Okay, I believe it was held on Saturday.
right, but on the Friday prior to the caucus, the 28th of
Oh,
February.
they set up.
Yeah,
did
it
set up,
was a
okay.
normal work.
I
day.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
all right. Anyone else? All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion's been made. Adjourn. Favors, aye.
Yeah.